Welcome to the Immaterial Gamers podcast. You know, if you're gonna go World of Warcraft on me,
Well,
you need to do better.
yeah, I know. I'm fighting with Morlocks at the moment. No, if I was gonna do stupid voices, it would be... What's my better voice now? I've been doing not bad Wookiee, actually.
Oh yeah, go on. Let us all hear it.
I don't know. We'll see if I can do it. It's when you hear me do that weird cry thing.
It's better than mine because I can't roll the throat for a Wookiee. As ever, we always find a bar when it comes to starting a podcast, and I don't know whether we raise it or lower it, but maybe we just go through the bar.
Well,
we see a
labels. They don't exist.
Yeah, we.
But yeah.
Is that why Brother don't do the label makers anymore? It's like, hey, look, I need all these for all my stuff. Nah, they don't exist.
Yes.
So, yeah. Hello, everyone. Let me try and do that so it looks like I'm actually looking at the webcam and not... Oh, it does look like I'm still looking off it to the side.
Yeah.
Thrill as the podcast hosts try and reorientate their cameras.
Selfie!
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
No, it probably doesn't help
take a
that
selfie.
I'm actually looking down towards the preview monitor. Stop looking at the preview monitor, Ryan. Look at the camera. That's what you're meant to do. Camera's
And that's
live.
what it looks like on top of the monitor.
Not sure of that.
Nope.
Welcome, it's the home improvement episode of the podcast where we just,
No.
we just all
Live on
become,
the desk.
we all become Wilson out of, home improvement.
See, when I think of Wilson, I always think of Castaway first.
Wilson!
Wilson!
When you should be thinking, oh. So, this is the Immaterial Gamers podcast episode 121. Which I actually, you know what, this was not made up, it is just me and Dee this week. So one could say it's a 1-to-1 podcast. Ba-dum, chish. Look, I know.
One sec. Doesn't have the right percussion, is it?
Yeah, the right percussion, yeah. Doesn't have the right sound to it. I'm just touching a coffee mug. That doesn't do much. Yeah, I apologise for the puns. I mean, I don't think.
You like being punny. You apologise, but you won't. It doesn't stop.
It's my nature. Look, we have a look at our Discord, and when there was what recording was going on the 19th or the 11th? I don't know. Trying to think. Would it have been? It was Duncan and Andrea looking to prepare themselves another Yuppie Psycho video.
Okay.
And Duncan was taking, as you can see in the general chat on the Discord. We're not going to show him on the vidcast, but Duncan taking pictures of himself and Amber with the hashtag dog days.
Oh, I need to go back. There we go.
So we took a couple of pictures, and then the following morning...
Oh my god, let's take a selfie.
Then, the following morning, before I went to work, I wrote...
Yep.
I wrote, no further pictures, so I guess the hashtag dog days are over. Based off the song by band Florence and the Machine called Dog Days Are Over.
Didn't
I
get
was
that.
I was disappointed with my own joke on it. The 30 seconds later, I just put, "I'll go to work now." Yeah, so I'm
I'm going to work.
Note this: I'm thinking of puns at 6:20 in the morning. My brain needs to switch off. I need help.
Mine is rebooting.
Rebooting. Hold on. Let's just have a look. We just have we turned it off and on again? Probably a good thing to go. So yeah, this is a podcast where we just talk. Well, we'll have been going for longer than 5 minutes, surely. Yeah, we've gone longer than 5 minutes. Where we talk shit for up to an hour or around an hour. And first thing we do, we've changed how these features go these days. I mean, we used to talk about a game we played and then some news, and then we did some games or stuff like that. We did other little segments. Now, we just shoot the shit for an hour. Because we're all over the place and we don't really catch up and stuff like that. So, one regular thing is, how's the week been? That good, eh?
Yeah, that's an excellent grumble.
Really? I mean, you could have went, how's the week been?
1 second. Absolutely fabulous, darling.
Okay, now come on. Now I know you're lying.
Yeah, that one took some effort. That took some serious
Yeah,
effort.
I mean, you could ask me if you want.
How was your week?
Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, no, it's been fine. I mean, we're still doing this in the UK, and when Canadians turn up in Canada, and
Lockdown and bullshit.
yeah, lockdowns, and we could keep talking about it until they're sick of the teeth. It doesn't change shit. So,
we can just acknowledge that it exists, and then just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, lockdown's still happening. Oh, hold on. No, I don't need to go towards the light. Oh, really, don't.
But the light's so beautiful.
Oh, Jesus. Privacy
bug
data
life.
on Google. I'm just trying to see if there's any gaming news that's happened. I mean, the PS5 came out this week in the UK, and it shut online shops down because of its popularity.
Rawr.
I believe, according to Sky News, it was like Curry's, PC World, and Game all suffered website hiccups as people were trying to buy their consoles online.
It's not really a news, but thingy comes up. Matt and Chris are like, Shadowlands on Wednesday.
It's another WoW expansion.
Yeah, and you go from 50 to 60 because they've squished you down to 50 now.
Did I hear this right in that basically you can start at any expansion now?
Pretty much. By the looks of it.
So if you want to level from 1 to 50 in the Land of the Pandas, you could?
Well, Pandaria is about 30, 35 when I was there. The mobs.
Oh, is it right? So okay, so they have reduced that down then. But then again, that's because, like you said, there's no level 135 or whatever the feck it is. It's now all squished back to 60.
Yeah, level 50 is the max at the moment.
Of course, because Shadowlands will bring you from 50 to 60.
Yes.
And here's how also, and personally, with WoW, maybe this is a side effect of the whole Blizzard issue, but I've not been very drawn in on Blizzard games. I mean, I reinstalled Diablo 3, and then it went again.
I've basically been playing with Matt and Chris, so new expansion. I do actually like the storyline in WoW, though.
Well, what's happened last time? Last time I remember, the world broke apart, and you needed to put it back together with a magical amulet.
Since then, that's still going on. It's an ongoing process.
So it's still dead.
It's damaged, but the sword of Sagara, the big sword's still in the frickin' surface.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's a giant sword sticking through the earth,
and it's hurting the planet. Oh, Azeroth.
Which also turns out that the planet seems to be alive as well as machine-ish.
Kind of. The machine stuff is the
literal
Titans.
Heart. Yeah.
The machine is because of the Titans. The Titans made all the technology on Azeroth, and it all goes through the core and all that crap. So it's basically Titan technology. Is what's the planet's good for Titan technology, so it makes the planet slightly alive. That's why Magni can hear it talking to it. Good old Magni.
Magni Bronzebeard, the dwarf, who is made of crystal.
Made out of diamonds.
Shines bright like a diamond.
It is literally made out of diamonds because of a thing that happened to him. And now he hears Azeroth talking to him for some reason.
Warcraft!
Shadowlands is all about going back to Lich King. Again. Sylvanas took the helmet off the guy that is keeping the Lich at bay. And she broke the frickin' helmet. Meaning the world's been ripped apart. Sylvanas has been a bad war chief.
She couldn't fucking help herself.
She's decided that I'm going to rip... It's in the cutscene, the trailer cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
Sorfang's dead. That was part of the thing. She was like, we need to kill the war chief. The Banshee's gone crazy. Sorfang went, I challenge you to Makra. Okay? Bye. And turns out in the cutscene she's gone to see the Lich King and took his helmet and ripped it apart. So now the Shadowlands is going to be, we're in the spirit realm. And every boss that's died and everything that's killed ever is in there. And it's coming through.
Oh, this is excuse to bring back characters that are fan favourites back.
Yeah. Every villain, every mob that's died is in that Shadow Realm. And we're going to have to fight all over again. And seal the continuum back up. Yeah, no. That's Shadowlands.
I'm looking at the pre-order pitch. Explore Azeroth's afterlife. Okay. Sure, that's the main feature from what it seems like.
Yeah,
the Eternal Prison. Test your limits as you ascend Torghast Tower of the Damned, a highly replayable, ever-changing infinite dungeon. Infinite dungeon, if word right, would happen, but no company that said they've done an ever-changing infinite dungeon has
been able to fulfill that promise.
Correct.
The dungeon will... The map tiles might change a bit, but might have some map tile variation for a change. But yeah, that's... If you want to know about Shadowlands, it's... quest line and stuff. Currently I'm trying to get Pathfinder Part 2. So, rep grinding. Yay.
Woo.
Good old
I believe
grinding.
that's a recurrent gameplay. That's what it's known as. I'd slag it off, but guess who's playing Destiny 2 again? Playing Beyond Light. Part of their sort of next set of expansions. But before I continue on that...
Basically, there's 2 new zones that happened over the last 2 years since I went away. The Naga have been a pain in the ass and have opened up a Tidestone Whirlpool thing.
Question, when have they never been a pain in the ass?
It's Naga. So the Naga Queens opened up a realm underneath the ocean, and we're at the bottom of the ocean, trying to sort of survive. With a race of people that sound like goblins but look like Murlocs. Well, they're goblins, but they have fins and stuff, so they're an aquatic species of goblin.
They're actually known as something.
Yeah, the reputation's called the Unshackled. And their race... I can't remember the name of their race.
Gilgoblin. Or Gilblins.
Basically, you can just hear and the other one is gnomes.
Or even Kelfin.
And the other expansion is the gnome expansion.
I think I remember that one before.
The mecha gnomes.
Sort of quitting for what may have been the last time.
Yeah, the mecha gnome homeland.
Mm.
And the goblins decided that, we're going to go see the mecha gnomes. And get their technology. So it's the goblins, it's all to do with engineering, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get to Riverd with them, and then you can get the Pathfinder Part 2 out of the way. And I can fly in Battle for Azeroth.
Yay!
And then in like 3 days, Shadowlands comes out and we'll have to be on the ground anyway.
Of course.
Yeah. There's loads of feats of strength. Turns out I have like tons of feats of strength and stuff because of all the stats cushion and whatnot.
Mm.
So I'm like, going, you have this amount of achievement points. A lot of it is because,
Just bad.
Yeah. So, we've killed this boss, removed this boss. Ulduar's now fixed. There's no 10 man or 25 man.
Haven't they done that with most raids now, though? There is no... It's not 10 and 25 man, it's what they call it, dynamic.
Yeah, you just go...
Scales based on the amount of people you can actually afford to get for a raid.
Go hit a raid. Tried doing a Tomb of Sargeras on my own, and I've got all the way to kill Jaden.
Jaden killed you? Your character wasn't called Jaden by any chance, was it?
No, too.
So Kill Jaden didn't kill Jaden.
No, but can't kill Jaden on my own. It's not possible.
Sorry, I've got the camera the wrong way it should be.
But yeah, it's the enrage mechanic.
Yeah.
I got him to like 30% health and he just went and 2 hit me and I was like there going, ow. There's not much I can do about it.
You dead, son?
Yep. You're boned.
Yeah. So while we're here and talking about going back to games that we've not played for years, Destiny 2.
How's Destiny 2?
It's alright.
Yeah.
Beyond lights in sort of glacially moving the story forward. So, at the beginning of Destiny 1, there was always this talk about the darkness, 4 groups of shadowy beings that are here to take the world on. The Cabal, the Vex, the Fallen, and the other ones.
The Cabal, the Fallen,
Hive,
the Vex. Oh yeah, the Hive.
The Hive.
Okay.
There we go. That was alright. And then it actually turns out, oh no, they were all working for the Darkness. The Darkness is some pyramid-shaped ships that are slowly making their way to Earth.
Okay.
So, just as it works.
Craig died.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
Okay. But it's I don't know. It's just a recurring theme, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the light always has to fight the darkness and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Well, Beyond Light flips that a little bit because you need to use darkness in order to defeat enemies of light.
Oh, don't worry. WoW's got a similar thing. I have to use this cloak that I've had to go and get off the Black Prince, the son of Deathwing, to fight the boss that's turned you insane. So you need to use an insanity cloak that drives you insane to clean your sanity. Well, a corruptor, it prevents corruption.
Yes.
So yeah, you got to level that up. by going into the insanity zone for a few minutes at a time, and trying to kill stuff in there. Well, he's obviously 50 and tough as hell. And then once you beat it, you go to level 2. And so on and so forth.
I see. But, yeah. So this new element called stasis.
Okay.
It's basically ice. You throw it at something and they'll freeze, but you can then hit them and it'll deal more damage to someone who's been affected by stasis and is frozen and all that business. And you can use it and you can have it used against you, and it's ruined Crucible. But I don't care. I'm not really a fan of Crucible, and any missions that require me to go to Crucible, I just sort of walk through. Hi, I'm here. I'm 3 points. Come shoot me.
See, I did alright, and sometimes I have very hit and miss with Crucible.
I'm very hit and miss with Crucible. Generally, I hit nothing and miss my health.
No, I do have... It's PvP. I struggle with PvP a lot.
Who doesn't? Now, I'm not inviting any people to go, oh yeah, I'm great, I got a 5.4 KDA on Crucible. Congratulations. What do you want, a fucking medal? No, you're not getting one there either.
But no, it's one of those, it's, well, at the moment, WoW's one is, because of this whole Shadowland thing, when you go to, like, Hogramar or whatever, there's actually automatic PvP that's happening. Because you get turned into a ghoul. And then you start fighting them. You infest people with ghoul, then you get turned into a ghoul when you die, and then so on and so forth.
Oh, that's got perfect Dart Zero vibes. Best multiplayer mode in gaming, I think. You start off with like 2 infected people and a team and like 8 other players. and the idea is sort of either the surviving players have got to last the round time, or the infected have got, infected, which just come up as skeletons, kill everyone. Because that led to Xbox, the best Xbox chat, which is.
And then it cycles back round. When you die as a ghoul, you come back to life as a human, and then rinse repeat. So you spend a life as a life, then you go to a ghoul, and then back to life, back to a ghoul.
Okay.
So it's not exactly what you were talking about.
I still like that sort of idea. Just like slowly, eventually overwhelming the opponents, and it's just like, okay, there you go. And now you're all dead, now you can start again.
Yeah, but all we want to do is eat your brains. We're not unreasonable, we just want to eat your eyes. We won't eat your eyes.
But it was always best because it worked, like say when it worked with Xbox Live's voice comms, and every channel was separate. So the living people would be on one voice comm, the dead people would be on another, but it would just switch instantly. So it was always great because if you were on a team with a bunch of people and you all had voice comms on, say you were on the surviving team, you'd know when someone had died because they're like, "Oh shit, there's a..." And everyone else on the team like, Joe?
Frank?
Meanwhile, on the infected team, Joe just suddenly comes into the room. It's like, infested fuck! Hi guys, who we killing next?
Well,
It'd be almost like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. It's like, hi Joe.
hello?
You had to go the undead route, didn't you? Hello.
Hello?
But yeah, so yeah, still avoiding Crucible on Beyond Light. Story seems sort of interesting. Another fallen commander has managed to take hold of a new power and wants to unite the houses of the fallen. Hello, Mogworld.
Jim!
Goodbye, Mogworld.
Yeah, well,
Still
get some jam.
Yeah, I've still got those 2 books as well, and I also have Will Save the Galaxy for Food.
Okay.
but there is also another book coming out because Yahtzee's got.
So there's a book I don't actually have for Yahtzee.
There's 2 books that you don't have because there's one called or Differently Amorphous. There's another one as well, but yeah, there's going to be a trilogy of these space pilot books. So there's Will Save the Galaxy for Food, and currently on audiobook exclusive, but will be on print next year, I think, or something like that, is Will Destroy the Galaxy for Cash.
Okay.
And then I think there's going to be another one after that. But I think I might need to pick up all the audiobooks because they're fun. But there's also just like the niceness of just like an old-fashioned paper book and using eyes to look at words.
See, I've got loads of books to read, but I've got a whole box of books to read, but I haven't read them yet.
Mm-hmm.
I can't seem to get into them, but I don't listen to audiobooks either.
Audiobooks are great if you just sort of needing to zone out a little bit. Don't fall asleep with them because that's troublesome. Because
what was I saying? With audiobooks and stuff, it's like when I've been watching the anime that Steph asked me to watch. It takes all my concentration because I have to read the sub. So I've been watching Bones while I've been playing games. While I'm playing games, I'm watching Bones, but if I'm watching... What anime I'm watching again? I don't know. I'll figure it out. The Misfits of Demon King. It takes all of my attention because I've got to read.
Yeah, and that's why I'm sorry, I may be an anime heathen, but I have to listen to it I have to listen, not read. I'm sorry. And that is why, even though I've been told and I'm wanting to watch Parasite, the Korean film that was like all the rage last year. It's about a lower class or like a working class family finagling their way into a rich family for the whole purpose of like basically taking their money and living a good life, but then things happen. But it's a Korean film and it's subbed because international films are subbed. Sometimes they dub them and it doesn't work right because they don't get voice actors who could portray the feelings of the Korean cast in it. And that's my sort of problem. And I know that I should be wanting to sort of watch the film, but it's hard to do that when all you see is subtitles.
It's the sub and dub thing's kind of like I like subbed because I can dubbed because I can just watch it and have a game at the same time. I can just basically multitask. And I don't have to sit there going, what? Pause. Read.
Yes. Skip back 10 seconds.
It's that, again, the conversation doesn't get translated necessarily well.
Yeah.
In dubbed. So you have the subtitles on anyway, just so you can go, what?
Mm-hmm.
Because you hear a conversation and you're like, wait a sec. Skip back. Oh, they just translated it really, really badly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And, that's sort of where it all comes down to.
It's that figuring out that balance between subbed and dubbed. Same with games. Some games you can tell that it was based... The dubbed is where it was based for. Because everything's out of sync and whatnot, and you start there going... Yeah, they animated this to be in Japanese or Korean or whatever.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, actually, there is an example on that because there's something else I sort of want to sort of talk about, and it's more adventures into Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's weird how you can tell, you can tell the original language of a game. Generally with something like that or Persona, where the setting and the characters are based in Japan. Their names, you've got Ichiban, Kagusa. Ichiban. That's his main name. But, you've got that, and, in Yokohama and You're going through all these districts, and there was like a little side quest or sub story where it was just a guy comes up to her and he's like, "Hello, can you show me the way to the station?" And he's like, "What? What's he saying? Can you show me the way to the station?" And then like Ichiban just goes, "Oh, he's speaking English." But because it's been translated into English, because it's an English, it's got English voice acting as well as Japanese voice acting, at that point it seems weird. Because it's like, hold on, my character is speaking English, and is this some like Doctor Who style translator that's happening?
Yeah, it's just basically... It just takes away from the plot a little bit.
Yeah,
when they do like little bits like that.
Yeah, just for that moment though, because it's like, oh right, I get it. He's speaking to a tourist, and the tourist is trying to find
the way to the station.
Yeah, and I mean another character turns up and he absolutely hams it up as part as his character. He's just like, oh mate, you're like Ichiban, you're never gonna get anywhere if you don't learn English. I mean, I will help this guy. So the guy's like, "Where is the way to the station?" And this character just goes, "Down the road and to the right." I'm like, okay, so you ham it up by speaking really, really stern, angry English.
Well, that's the other thing.
You are welcome!
But yeah, what was it? It's like the English thing with translations and stuff. A lot of people, or a lot of things like, we speak Queen's English all the time. It's like, nah.
Oh, hello, old chum. This is the Immaterial Gamers podcast. No, yes.
Yes.
Yes, because every A sound has to be an R.
Quite right. Yes.
But
yeah, it's how it gets it's how things get lost in translation, especially with like dialects and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I do get the option that I can switch between the English and Japanese sounds, but it to be fair, with sort of a living room audience, and like Martin has been catching a couple of the cutscenes for it. It's a lot easier to enjoy it as a game, even as a sort of a spectator, intentionally or otherwise, and hearing the characters just like sort of have a laugh. I mean, we were just watching, did have a laugh about, was like sat down with one of my party members. He's talking about a story how he was just dying for a bottle of whiskey, and he didn't want to. He's homeless. The character, the party member, is homeless, but wanted the good whiskey. And so there's this whiskey that was like 10 grand a glass. So while the bartender wasn't there or wasn't looking, he just downed the whole bottle. Realised his mistake, and went and just like grabbed the shittest whiskey and poured it in. He's just like, I cannot believe that overnight I drank 100,000 worth of whiskey. And then another character, another party member comes up and is like, "All right, what are you two talking about?" "Oh, nothing. All right, well, why have you not got a drink in your hands?" No, what are you offering a drink?" "Yeah, whiskey." Oh no. "Oh, don't worry, I'll get us the good stuff." "Oh no." And then she just sort of gets over it, and they just she gets like the second most expensive whiskey instead, and it just ends with a cutscene. It's like, we are just going to be shitting ourselves every time someone offers us whiskey, aren't we? It's because of the thing as well, because they're party. Because it's like, were you around when I explained Like a Dragon the first time?
I'm not sure. So
it's like, instead of it being a brawler, it's an RPG instead.
Okay, vaguely, yeah.
So it's like the main, and Ichiban sort of has got this weird delusion that he played too much Dragon Quest, so everything all his ambitions and everything that defines him as a character is based on the fact that he wants to be the hero in Dragon Quest. To a point, because now we'll switch from Destiny, because it's still shooty, fun. If you liked Destiny beforehand and Beyond Light's there, you'll still like it. If you didn't like it beforehand, there is absolutely nothing here that would change your mind.
Well, it's pretty much the same as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. Shadowlands, did you like WoW beforehand and you want to still play WoW? Then here you go. If you didn't like...
I did try Ori. The first Ori. You and Duncan recommended Ori, and I've tried the first bit of that for a bit.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that yesterday while we were getting set up for play session, weren't we? And disco, yeah. That
yeah, Ori's it's a good story basically. If you like story and how it plays out,
it's nice. Sort of. It's like and you'll have to agree with this. It is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it's got nice scenery and whatnot.
Watercolor thing, that just so you know, a lot of that's hand drawn.
You can kind of tell.
It's just nice.
It's like when you watch you watch stuff and you're like, yeah, it's like Spirited Away. You can tell Spirited Away. A lot of Studio Ghibli films are hand drawn.
Well, it's their style, isn't it?
It's why yeah. But I do like Studio Ghibli.
Yeah. But yeah, to sort of go further, because I played a bit, because when we last talked about Like a Dragon, I had literally played like the opening hour, which is barely even the prologue. And now that I've got a lot more into it, I'm sort of getting used to it. I now have a full party of 4 people. I've got Ichiban, the main DPS / tank. He's the hero. I've got Akechi, or Adechi. I'm awful with names. He's sort of the off tank, or sort of like the rogue. You got Nanba. He's the mage. Well, effectively, I guess he's a cleric in the sense he's a healer and a mage. So yeah, sort of that. Okay. And then Sayoko is the new character I've got at the moment. She's the fighter. She deals with boxing and swinging a handbag around at people. Because they've got their weapon types. So as I sort of mentioned, Ichiban, it got to a point now where he's hit delusion.
Oh dear.
So they walked past and there was a baseball bat that was cemented into the ground. Someone just decided to do as a joke, and Nanba tries to pull it out, doesn't work. Akechi does the same, and Ichiban just goes, "Oh, come here, you pussy." So let's just
Excalibur.
It's Excalibur. He just pulls it out, no problem, and everything's great. But as he's pulled it out, he's now hit a delusion that when you went through the first few chapters of the game, when you came up against Yakuza, they just looked like Yakuza. They were just guys in their flashy shirts and stuff like that. Come up against business people and businessmen, they'd just be in their salarymen suits and stuff like that. Now, he sees them as monsters in a video game. So there was a guy he was a bit bulky and everything like that, going to combat, and he become like 10 foot tall, like swole, and had a giant sledgehammer. Businessmen who like to constantly go to the soap lands, which are basically Japanese brothels. They then lose their suits in combat, and they'd just be wearing shorts and an inflatable lilo.
It's like what was it? There was an anime that was kind of like that. The Chibri and Other Disillusions. They're in high school and they go through a chibi phase, as they explain it. And he's a dark... So
they just see everything as chibi?
Yeah. The characters... It cuts between their high school thing and their alternate personas as the chibi characters.
Yeah.
So you see it from both sides at the same time. It cuts between them. So you see what the disillusions are in the anime. You know, like, I am so in a big flashy costume, and he's just in his high school uniform.
Oh, classic.
Instead of this, like, black robed fire-breathing whatever.
Just mad. And I mean, it just keeps going into this sort of weird thing, because now he's adamant that he wants to be a hero, and everyone's just fueling his delusion. Just like, we're a party, we can do this, we can defeat the big boss. They don't even know who the hell the big boss is. It's a Yakuza game, so it's going to be the chairman of the big alliance, and someone who wants to use organised crime to fuel their legal motives.
Yeah,
like virtually every Yakuza game, but it's just the fact that I'm having to upgrade melee weapons. Like, so Nanba uses umbrellas.
Okay.
Ichiban uses bats. Adkechi uses like police issue batons and stuff like that. But because they're all like blunt weapons, they upgrade, and it's Yakuza. They upgrade their weaponry from a S&M shop.
Of course.
To which at this point, Ichiban is currently wielding a giant vibrator.
Is it like the baseball bat from
Saints Row?
Yeah.
Yeah. In a sense, he's not wielding a giant dildo, but he's a giant vibrator, and
the penetrator or whatever it was called.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah,
you had a baseball bat and then you got the penetrator. You're like,
But still having fun with it, even if I played it for like 7 hours tonight and have got nowhere.
It's one of those kind of games. You like it? A lot of Japanese games like that.
Yeah, because that's sort of the sort of idea. They want people to be invested in the game and to
investigate in the characters,
to have value
and how they work.
And to also have value in the product. They don't want it to be like an American product that can be done and dusted within like 4 hours.
Yeah, it's just like they want you to. They put a lot of time and investment into the characters and how they work and their skits a lot of the time. Like how the characters interact with one another.
Yeah.
And so it'd be like, Lloyd, what did you do that for?
Yeah. I mean that's definitely the thing with Yakuza. Because I mean, in sort of Western RPGs, you only really had major conversations with your party members when you wanted to go down to Bone Town.
Yeah.
It's like sort of romancing options, and yeah, like you say, skits like the Tales of games, which also work in Like a Dragon, because even though the Yakuza games are known to have sub-stories, sort of weird side quests, and I mean weird, like re-encountering the patriarch of a Yakuza family who, in his off time, likes to pretend he's a baby. I'm not joking. He wears the nappies. He drinks formula milk.
Fair dues.
And, in 2 games he's had slight misunderstandings.
There was like a game, because I've been watching Bones or whatever. One of the weird cases is the pony play one.
Oh no.
Brief, and they ended up doing a murder about a guy that basically got killed as a pony, not as a human.
Yeah, just as a confirmation on this as well, audience, if you do see this, this has definitely been marked as not for kids.
Yeah, and that's. But yeah, it's just like I was watching Bones and sad. It's like some of the episodes of Bones are just like, oh okay, and then you see this episode and you're like, oh.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, but I may sort of come back to this next week, where I may have gone from chapter 5 to chapter 6.
Yay!
Maybe.
Well, you could be like playing Final Fantasy 13 and going through the before you hit the big bit.
Sort of open world. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
the first 10 chapters.
Yeah,
or 13.
here's the first 10 chapters of Final Fantasy 13. It's just one long corridor, and now here you are on Grand Pulse. So you thought you were going to be through this in 45 minutes? Think again, fucko.
It's like 30 hours to get to Grand Pulse, and you sat there like, hey, I've got to Grand Pulse.
Yeah, it takes 30 hours to get to Grand Pulse, and then a further 30 hours from Grand Pulse to back to Cocoon. just madness. Absolute madness. And then you end up back in a corridor there anyway. And then to think that it was even worse with Final Fantasy 15, where it was open world virtually all game, and then the last 4-5 chapters were corridor. Which, that was not how you wanted it. We want sort of like the open world. I mean, maybe pull the Final Fantasy 7 original and just to have the corridor for the first couple of hours, and then open it out. But again, this is also the sort of argument of Western open world versus J open world, and in things like you could have a lot of your Rockstars and your Ubisofts and all that, and it's like, we've got this open world and there's vast miles of, there's like 4.8 square miles of things to explore, and you're like, is there really?
Like Oblivion and Skyrim.
Yeah, they also suffer from the same thing. It's like other from certain hotspots of where to do stuff. It is a map of nothing.
It's just like, I'm just gonna go to this village. I'll go and make a brew and go to bed, and I might just get there in time.
Yeah, I mean, this is where everyone laughs at Fuel, because there's actually, I was watching and this is Duncan's fault that he's got me into this. Going back to the Accursed Farms, the guy who did Freeman's Mind, Ross. Okay. And he did an episode on The Crew, and he said how it was the biggest open world driving game, and then a record scratch happened and it showed cover art for the game Fuel, and then he corrected himself and it's the second biggest open world game.
But yeah, it's just you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's open world with nothing in it. It's no point, and you take that again into example with Yakuza. It's an open world game. I mean, Yokohama is big. Kamurocho is, small. But their open worlds are sort of the perfect size. There's always something going on. There's no empty areas. There's no bits where you just sat there just going, wow, this is just here to make me waste 5 minutes of game time.
It's finding that balance between an open world game that has got stuff to do, and then an open world game that's sort of like, I'm just gonna walk down this mountain for the next 20 minutes to kill a mob to come back for 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be that balance between freedom and
Sunset Overdrive activities. Sunset Overdrive is basically just everything's just fast paced, in your face, grind. You stood still, silly person.
Yeah, so that's fast paced on the fact that you wouldn't
get penalties for standing still.
Yeah, so there wouldn't be problems with the open world aspects on that because there's always something going on.
Because you always got to grind a rail or whatnot. It's like, you stood still, silly protagonist.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done that. We're going to punish you for that.
Yeah.
Here, have a horde.
But that ends our feature of two people who don't know game design talk about game design.
I know a bit more about game design. But...
I've got some sort of game design. I dropped out of a game programming course and about some sort of game design. But we're not developers. That's what I mean by that bit.
Yeah.
So right at the beginning of the podcast, before we went on our
tangent,
near hour-long deviation,
okay,
we mentioned about the PS5.
Oh, you did.
And certain stores were, crashing at the sight of
whatnot.
PC. PS5. But this story from The Guardian says that, the points where people who managed to be lucky to get said console were still not receiving the console because people had intercepted the packages and put something else there instead. This has happened. Me and Duncan talked about this like a year ago with the Switch, and how people who had ordered a Switch were getting packs of AAA batteries, for example. But according to The Guardian, Amazon, again, like with the Switch, investigating reports that the PS5 consoles have been stolen in transit. People receiving things like bags of rice. I wonder if it was basmati rice. All that rice that they couldn't get rid of from the London riots. Someone has got Felix cat food. It's not even the same. It's not even the same. People have been responding to these in threads, and a Twitter user has stated that they got a George Foreman grill. I don't know if it's backwards compatible with the rest of the food in your kitchen, but
I actually like my George Foreman. It's a good grill.
George Formby and George Foreman are two separate people.
I don't know. Whatever the grill I've got
one's a boxer, one was a boxer, and the other was a ukulele player. If you could see.
Well, I'm not cleaning windows.
I think that was
George Formby.
Yeah.
When I'm cleaning windows. But yeah,
Just people stop stealing shit. Let people spend their money and get item. Spend money, get item. Spend money, get item that they paid money for. Simple concept. Don't just steal shit. Really? I mean, honestly, don't do it. Because, I mean, this happened. Apparently, prominent figures in the games industry also failed to get their devices. Quotes the article. An MTV journalist got an air fryer. Problem being on this is that she was doing an unboxing video.
Oh. So that's proof of content, though.
Yeah. Hi, my name's... So the journalist is called Bex May, so I could just picture this. Hi, it's Bex here from MTV, and we're going to be doing the live unboxing of the PS5. Here we go! We'll be right back.
Not cut!
My jowls went there with my beard.
But no, I kind of... I went the whole calm route.
Yeah, you did. Apologies for those who are listening on earphones. I'm sorry.
Well, we done!
Snake! Wait. Anyway.
Snake!
So, yeah, that happened with the PS5. I mean, were there any other gaming news? Let's have a look. Not really. There's news like the best vehicles in video games and why they matter, and it shows a picture of a horse.
You said about the PS5 coming out.
Yeah.
Xbox? Question mark?
Xbox exists. So much talk has been about the PS5 that you would be forgiven for not knowing that the Xbox Series X and Series S had come out. Honestly, you would. I mean, there was one story in the Manchester Evening News, which is owned by The Mirror, about a man who bought a console and it bricked. So he's got a £500 doorstop.
Oof. That's... No.
What it looks like, it was a GPU failure, because he showed a picture of him loading up Call of Duty, which, I mean, there are better games. But yeah, it was showing like green flickers all over the place. Remember a few years back when we were playing Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands?
Oh.
And remember how my graphics card just died in the middle of me flying a helicopter with us all in it?
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't fun to hear the panics on that. It was just like, right, okay, let's take off. Ryan, where are you taking us? Ryan, where are you taking us? What do you mean? No, my screen's froze. No, where are you taking us? Oh, no. And then, over the next few days, we realised the graphics card died.
It was one of those... we had that with what was it? I'll tell you what is a weird one that I had with Sapphire and GTA at one point. But this one's a fun little GTA glitch thing. If you go to the Catela mission and beat up the bikers or whatnot, if you have a vehicle, the NPCs nick it and just fly off on it.
Yeah.
Sapphire went AFK inside the vehicle, came back and she was in the middle of nowhere. Just flying off the map.
Because they'll just keep going, won't they? It's like, normally they should have gone to a point where they could just despawn, but because there's a player in the vehicle...
No, they just went off the map with her.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Because there's a player in the vehicle, the NPC can't just despawn because they're out of range of a player. Because they're driving with the player.
Well, they do drive off the map and then eventually despawn, but it's just like, oh, I'm going to be fine. But where's him? Where are you taking me? I'm like, that's the NPC, not me.
Bum, bum, ba, ba.
Can you come pick me up? I'm like, give it a minute, you'll die. What?
I still remember the, I think it was the old achievement hunter thing that you could...
Bum cheese.
No, not just bum cheese, the whole driving or getting a taxi driver to go round Chiliad Mountain, or Mount Chiliad. But the way you do it is that you set the waypoint so they have to cross through it. But then you tell them to hurry up. And when a driver hurries up, they try and find the shortest way through a waypoint, even if it's not very safe. So it led to, it was like almost a taxi driver rodeo of staying in this taxi while they're flying it round at 60 miles an hour around Chiliad. And, it's like, basically, that's got Death Road. That, such a giant sort of cliff faces. So, that's always the fun thing. And one last thing then before we wrap up, because we're coming up to that magic hour point. IO Interactive, you know who they are. They make the Hitman games.
Oh, okay. I know Hitman.
Yeah, they're making a James Bond game now.
Okay.
Which will be interesting. And Hitman 3 comes out next year as well. The conclusion to the World of Assassination trilogy, as they call it.
I've played a bit of Hitman 2, but not really played.
2 is nice. If you just... The thing with a Hitman game, compared to sort of other stealth games, is, well and truly, patience. There are opportunities that come up that if you just let things play out, it'll work for you. There are some that are like timed and you need to hurry your bold barcoded arse up. But, there's a lot of it just... And it sort of plays to Agent 47's character that he's always analysing stuff. And knows what situations comes up. And it's just all the idiots' fault that their hairdresser has suddenly got a shave. And also changed skin colour, height, stature, bulk, voice. And then, suddenly Agent 47 ends up at Light Matter Institute and guides your character through there. Cannot believe I didn't recognise his voice.
Oh, don't worry. I was playing the Index to get some credits on Warframe. And I swear whatever Cephalon they've got running the Index is basically Claptrap. It sounds like Claptrap. Anyway.
Probably.
Like, that voice sounds familiar, and stuff's like, that's Claptrap. I'm like, ah.
I was going to try and see if we can figure this out. The index cephalon. Cephalon Sark. And voiced by Scott Montiel. I don't believe he is Claptrap.
Don't know, but it sounds like Claptrap.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Well, I'll just have a quick look on this. We're going to wrap this podcast up, so...
do the like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and all that jazz, or wherever it is on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and just to confirm, it was Dave Eddings was the voice of Claptrap. So, unfortunately not. But, yeah, also, if you don't want to watch the video, you can also listen to the podcast on YouTube,
Spotify,
if you want, by just leaving it in the background. But also, Spotify,
Apple
Podcasts, thank you, yeah, and wherever else you get your podcast. I think we might see what we can do about getting it on Amazon Music for that as well. See if there is any certification process needed on that. And also, all the links are down in the description below. That's another thing that people say, isn't it?
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. But from Dee and Ryan, and from Craig. Oh, he left about 50 minutes ago, didn't he? I don't know.
I think he's dyeing his hair.
Bloody Craig. It better be a good colour. It better be a good colour. Right, anyway, have a good week, everyone, and we shall see you next time. So, toodaloo. The Disco Elysium episode should have come out by then, so toodaloo, ta-ra, au revoir. So long, farewell, Alvida, saying goodbye.
And you. Damn it now! You.
Hey!